Alrighty, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new Breakout Solutions live stream. I'm your host, Matthew Batiri, here with you today with some Bitcoin technical analysis. So we've had a really interesting past week, and I'm going to talk you through exactly what I'm seeing in the charts right now. So on a weekly basis, a really good positive sign is that we actually closed the week inside the value area that we've been stuck in since the 13th of March. So for the last 2 months, we've been going sideways. We've been sort of ranging. And if we had, basically closed the week below 26,800, we actually closed it daily. And I'm going to explain to you my thoughts on that in a second. This is looking a lot better than what we were last week. And the reason being is everyone online, every man and his dog has been talking about the head and shoulders pattern that we've been seeing. Now, I didn't really talk much about it. And the reason being is when everyone's talking about it, normally what you'll tend to see is you'll have most people, retail investors like us, too fixated on patterns because they're very simple. It's what most of the general public will look towards when they start their trading career. They'll look at support and resistance lines and they'll look at patterns. And every man and his dog was looking at this pattern, this left shoulder, head, and then right shoulder, and saying, hey, yeah, we're going straight to 25,000. Now, from there, basically, we had a bit of time we had basically 3 days under that $27,000 value area low of this range. So normally when you break down from the value area low, especially when maybe you have a pattern, most people will be like, okay, let's grab the head to the neckline, and then this is our target zone for the Bitcoin breakdown. Now, we, of course, can still fulfill this, but as you can see, we've now broken back above the horizontal neckline of this head and pattern shoulders, and we're trending back to the upside. So whereas most people thought we were probably going to come down to 24,000 or at least the first stop 25,000, where we previously held resistance, which should obviously turn into support, we've now pushed back to the upside and went back into the value area range, and that makes me quite bullish. If we were going to break down, I would have assumed that we would have already done that already, because we had broken the, the last part of support for these head and shoulders. But now we're breaking back into the range, which is fantastic. Now, even though we've had a really small push to the upside, I do believe because the US is still sleeping, tonight is going to be very interesting to see if the volatility comes into the upside or the downside. But with this push that we've had over the last 48 hours, this is a fantastic sign. A fantastic sign that Bitcoin failed to break down. We probably have a lot of people opening up some shorts here, which adds liquidity to the market, thinking, yeah, we're creating this inverse head and shoulders. We're breaking down, we're breaking down, we're breaking down. But as you can clearly see, the value area low was resistance once, twice, and we've broken through it this third time. So normally with an inverse head and pattern shoulders, you'll break down, you'll come back up for the retest, and then you'll obviously continue going down. But now that we've broken back into the range, once the US wakes up, we will probably do something crazy. Now, I want you to look at sort of this pattern a little bit right now, and let's compare it to the last time we had a very similar pattern, okay, when Bitcoin absolutely mooned. All right, so we obviously had this distribution pattern here for Bitcoin. We dropped down. Everyone thought we were going back to $12,000. We held support at the golden pocket of this breakdown. So if I just take the golden pocket from here to here, okay, there we are. So we hit the golden pocket, bounced aggressively off it, and we continued to the upside. And we had a really big push to the upside. This time round on this pullback, we basically didn't even, if you take the fib from here to there, you can see that we even landed just below the golden pocket. And now we've pushed to the upside, which is a great indication. You can obviously draw a fib retracement from this low here, which was the second part of this pump, and also here. But we never reached, obviously, the golden pocket. The 0.5 seemed more logical because it lined up with the 25K zone. But what you could possibly do, this is the Bybit chart. So we may have hit the $25,000 mark on other exchanges, maybe with lower liquidity. We grabbed all the liquidity from here, and now we're going to rise to the upside. So I do have some very bullish thoughts on this. Because we've failed to break down, I do now think we're going to push to the upside, because a lot of the indicators that I like to look at, if we look at the daily, have reset. So market cipher printed a green dot, which usually signifies a bottom or a local bottom. We've got the stochastic RSI that has now gone from the downside moving back up to the upside. So momentum is moving back up. And on the other lower timeframes from the 4 to the daily, everything's pointing to the upside. So the upside movement should continue at least to the point of control, which is going to be 28,000, just about 28,000. We'll probably see a pullback from there, but if we can blast through that point of control, we're going to move swiftly to 29,200 and then probably start making that next leg to the upside. Even if we do, once again, fail to break through here, once again, we're just going to be consolidating in this zone, which builds strength for Bitcoin, especially once we break through this. This area is going to be huge support for us, huge, because we've spent so much time going sideways in this range. So that's fantastic. We've got a couple of comments. Let me just check them out. Thank you, Timothy. Appreciate the kind words. Much appreciated. Thank you for checking out the live stream. So we've got stochastic moving up on the lower time frames. Right now, maybe on the 1 to 4 hour, we're probably topping out a little bit. This is a bit of a local golden pocket. If we draw a fib from here to here, you can see that we're hovering around the golden pocket. So it's no wonder we're having a little bit of resistance here, struggling to push through. But hey, I do think that Bitcoin is looking quite good, and high prices should come. As I mentioned before, if we're comparing this to back here when we had this low point down in March, look how fast we went up from here. There was a little bit of slow momentum. We came back up to the zone where we had a bit of trading. So right now, same thing here, right? So if we zoom in here, we might be, if we zoom in here, let me just get a bit of a fixed range profile of this sideways trading zone. So we can see that the point of control of this zone right here is about 27,589. Right, we're quite close to that, so it's not surprising that we're going to probably find a little bit of resistance here. We've got the golden pocket, we've got the point of control of this sideways trading range, which means the most amount of Bitcoin was traded around this price not that long ago. We're looking at 7 days ago, if less than that. So we're going to find a little bit of resistance here. That might make us sort of go sideways, and then we might get that pop, much like what we did sort of back here. Okay, we moved up, we spent a little bit of time sideways, which was the point of control of this sideways range right here, right? So all this trading right here, we had the point of control, so we kind of just hovered around here, and then poof, we absolutely started blasting to the upside. So we could do something exactly like that. This is what it's looking like to me. It's a little bit slow now because, as I said, the US is still sleeping, so I think we're gonna get that volatility tonight. It could be, like I said, a fake up to the outside and the downside, but this is really good. This is very positive. I'm in no shorts right now. I've added to my long from the bottom that I had, opened at 16,500. So I'm adding to my longs right here and hoping for a high push. And if this does push through, then I think 50K is going to be inevitable. The next stop for me is going to be around that 36,000, which is a 382 fib, and is also, by the looks of it, a 4x push to the upside from this fib. So from here to here, it's a 4x. We've got the 2x here. We've got the 4x up here. So yeah, guys, super bullish on Bitcoin right now. If we were going to break down, I think it would have already happened by now. So the longer it took for this all to occur has given people the opportunity to open up shorts thinking, yep, this head and shoulders is going to play out. We've trapped all that liquidity and the bullish momentum continues. The only thing that does keep me a little bit worried is on the weekly, we do have the stochastic RSI pointing to the downside. But look, I did draw a line as of yesterday. The stochastic was about here, right? So the blue stochastic RSI was here yesterday. Actually, maybe it was a bit lower. There we go. It's probably around here. right? So look how far it pushed down with the printing of the new week today. So we've come down quite a bit. So I expect probably next week for the blue line to be around about the 20 percentile, so around about here, which means Bitcoin is close to bottoming out. So this week might be another sort of slow week. We'll grind around in that range. But as soon as these moving averages move back up to the upside, I can guarantee Bitcoin's going to pop, because if we just draw some vertical lines every time Bitcoin has crossed over these moving averages, I can guarantee you we've had a big push to the upside. So let's compare. This was obviously at the bottom. We had so from where we are now here to where we went, that was basically 100% push to the upside. This last one, second last one that we had during the bear market, we had a 35% push to the upside. And the one before that was a 46%, right? So 46, 35, and 100%. And now that we're in an upward momentum, we've got upward momentum, which means we're probably going to get a higher end scale of this movement, because the stochastic RSI is going to bottom out. I think next week or the week after, that might be the start of the explosion. If this wants to play out all the way back down to the oversold territory. Now we could create a bit of a trend line. So from here to that cross right here, we could get a quick move, this week. This makes the moving averages turn back to the upside. We get a cross around here. This would keep in line with this trend line. From the cross here to the cross here to the next cross, that could possibly be it as well. I know that recently occurred on the 2-day. Was it the 2-day? Or was it the daily? We had a trend line on one of the moving averages. I forget which chart it is, but yeah, things are looking quite good. So I'm pretty happy. Every indicator has shown a reversal incoming. Right, so yeah, things are looking fantastic, guys. I couldn't be more happy. I think that this has invalidated the head and shoulders, I guess, unless we get some crazy volatility when the US market opens. But this is perfect, breaking back into the range. Next up, point of control. If we can blast through that, then obviously the value area high. But we could be forming something like this, where we just end up exploding for another leg to the upside, because things are looking really good. All right, guys, that's it for today's technical analysis on Bitcoin. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you guys on Wednesday for the altcoin research live stream.